Hey friends, are you ready to finish this wreath that I started last night? I wasn't able to finish it because of time constraints, but it's a good thing I didn't because we realized during the midst of all that I gave the wrong measurements. And so I cut mesh at the wrong length, but I always take lemons and turn them into lemonade because that means that I have the opportunity to share with you how I'm going to fix my little screw up. All right, it's pinned. Yay. 5 hours later, but by golly, we got it. Okay. So if you missed it last night, this is the wreath kit that we're working with. It's a Scarecrow wreath kit. It comes with the chocolate frame. It comes with this natural mesh. It comes with our little Scarecrow that we added some pipe cleaners to the back of him. It comes with 3 rolls of ribbon. All 3 rolls of this beautiful fall colored ribbon. And it also comes with a second mesh. And that's where the screw up came into. That's where, and I need to stop saying screw up because it really was just a comment, or it's a unfortunate mathematical error, but it can be fixed. So that's the most important thing, is to know that it can be fixed. You know how to fix a boo-boo if you make a boo-boo like I did. So I started this wreath last night. It's a wreath kit that I have at in my shop at Festive Creations by Stephanie. It comes with 2 rolls of mesh. It came with this natural mesh, and it comes with this chocolate poly jute mesh with the cream colored in it. So the first mesh was perfect. So I cut 18 cuts at 20 inches each, 18 of them. That was exactly what I needed it to be. But when I went to go measure this, I totally cut the wrong size. These cuts should be 10 inches, but I actually cut them at 18 inches. So guess what? I will run short. So how am I going to fix it? No one is ever going to know this, but you, me, and those of you that are watching the live and the replay. What we're going to do is we're going to take each one of these curls and we're going to cut them in half. I truly need 36 of these, but I'm only going to have 18 as it stands. All right, so these should have been 10 inches each. But because I miscalculated and I screwed up with the measurements, it's 18 inches. So I'm going to cut it in half. That's all I'm going to do. Yes, I'm going to be an inch short on each one. I'm okay with that because it's still going to be okay. I'm just simply going to cut them in half. And now I will get the 36 cuts that I need. So I need 36 of these because we're going to put 2 in each curl. If you get this kit, you are going to cut this mesh, and you use this method, by the way. You don't have to make your kits just like me, but if you use this method, you're going to cut yours at 10 inches, and you're going to have 36 of them, and it should use the whole roll of mesh. That's what I would recommend, 10 inches. Now, I'm going to take them and put them all into one of the twist ties. I'm just going to kind of set that there, but I'm going to go, and I've already got some ribbon tails cut. So both rolls of ribbon come with this ribbon kit. Now, that's one thing when you get a kit from Festive Creations. That's me. You get the whole roll. You don't get just 5 yards or just 3 yards or just whatever I think you might need. You get the whole roll. So more than likely, you're going to have leftovers, and that's always great, because then you can make a matching coordinating bow or something to that effect. Whatever you want to do with it. Or store it on your shelf for another project. But, so we're going to add 2 of these 10-inch curls and 2 ribbon tails in each one of these twist ties. Now, I don't have my ribbon tails all cut, so I'm going to pause for a moment, and I'm going to cut my additional. All right, so let's go with, let me put ribbon, dovetails in all of these. The nice thing, though, is if that one is 12, which is very possible, I can cut it down. I can't make it bigger, but I can cut it down. 10 inch is going to work better for this one because we're going to be able to see what's underneath it. We don't want the ribbon to cover up what's behind it. I have a method to my madness, I promise. I know. Hey, Penny. Hello, hello. How are you? Guys, I love designing for fall. I love designing for Halloween. I went live from the warehouse today. I had some wreaths down there. And I'm going, oh my gosh, I need more. I need more. I want more. Not that I need, yeah, I want more. So getting my Etsy shop stocked up. And then, of course, I do a big show in September where fall sells like crazy, as you can imagine. Fall and Halloween, is very, very my best sellers. And it's the third week of September. Almost, is that the third one or the fourth? But right there in the season. So I always have to, I'm always prepared with a lot of fall designs. And believe it or not, in September, they're not really thinking about Christmas, at least not my neighborhood where this is. And this is a very large show where there's over 70,000 people, foot traffic. And it's the largest craft show in Central Illinois. It's huge, huge, I promise. Right, Dee? Look, we all have our own little personality quirks. Just got to roll with the punches. Roll with them. Okay. Let me get the rest of these, and then we can rock and roll putting the rest of this together. Tomorrow is Friday. What am I doing tomorrow? Oh, tomorrow I will be up bright and early down at the shop. I'm making signs. We've got a sale going on that started today. And it is an automatic discount on my sunflower collection. So I have a collection on the website where it's all sunflower items. And they're 30% off. You don't even need a code. But that includes ribbon. It includes signs. It includes wreath kits. There's a wreath kit in there. So, oh, and of course sunflowers in all the colors. You know, the smoke blue sunflowers, the orange sunflowers, the burnt orange, the yellows, all of that. Anything sunflower, all the sunflower items are on sale, 30% off. No code needed, no minimum order either. Just go shopping. When you put it in your cart, the discount will automatically apply. How stinking fun is that for you? Sunflowers. I'm thinking fall, y'all. Thinking fall. Okay, let's get this little guy and get rid of our ribbon tails. There we go. All right, now that I've got these cut, I can rock and roll. So we're going to do like a little assembly line. And we're going to take two of our curls or two of our cuts. We're going to roll them together. So sometimes I like to use my little Bodabra. It's about the only time I ever use him, to just kind of put my curls in here. And I can go faster this way because I can just do several at a time and have them all lined up for me. Do you think October is too late for fall? No. So surely my experience has been, I did a pop-up shop, and I don't know if you know what that means, but what that is it's like a temporary shop. So I opened up a temporary shop in October, year before last, and I was thinking the same thing, that October, people are probably about done with fall and are thinking more Christmas. So I really stocked for Christmas, and I only had a handful of fall stuff, right? Oh, girl, the fall flew. I was in there after dark, after hours, trying to get more fall items on my shelf and made. That means that I have to create them, right? So I'm making wreaths, I'm doing all the things. So if you think about it, my fall centerpieces sold super well, and that makes sense because people entertain for like Thanksgiving, just in general, right? So my centerpieces did really well. My wreaths did super fantastic. Let me undo that all the way. And I couldn't keep up. And it wasn't until late October, and by the way, Halloween sold too. So it wasn't until late October that people started to really transition towards fall, or excuse me, Christmas. And in the pop-up shop, they really enjoyed my centerpieces. They liked buying those. Very unique, which, you know, of course, handmade, you know, it's one of a kind. So why not, right? Okay. Oh, goody. Yeah, he's... All right, I think we have just one or two more. There's one here. Nope, just one more to go around the bottom. And then we're going to start playing with the top row. I honestly think this is what I'm going to do. So that 1.5 inch ribbon that has the sunflowers on it that comes in this green and the sunflowers. So I don't want to get lost in all of the burgundy dots. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and attach our sign, and the remaining twist ties, we're going to use a different type of filler or bow, filler for it. So let me show you. Now, I'm going to put my Scarecrow off to the side a little bit. In fact, he's going to be a little bit downward and off to the side. That's totally up to you if you want to do him more towards the center, if you want to do him towards the bottom. Let me see if I can get you a little bit better in view. There we go. So bottom, top, side, side, or in my case, I'm going to go lower, right. So that's where I'm going to go with him. So let me attach him. And of course, I'm going to take that pipe cleaner that we added yesterday and attach it to the metal frame behind our mesh. Let me get both of these ran through, and then we're going to flip it over. So when I go to add my sign, I'm looking for crossbars to where there is a bar that I can attach that pipe cleaner to. So I try to go to one that's not going to allow slack. So it's going to make it stretch basically. If I put it lower, then my sign's going to, gravity's going to make my sign fall lower. Where if I go up, before I go any further, let's take a look, make sure I'm doing, yes. So this way, it's not going to fall downward. It's only going to go so far because it's got only so much slack. But I am going to tighten him up. You also don't want to tighten your sign so tight that it is suffocating your mesh, like smushing it down. You want it to gently ride on top of the mesh. So when you shake it, it might shift a little, but it's not shaking harshly. Very, very little shift. We don't want a shifty scarecrow or a shifty sign. Okay, let me get this one going. And before I tighten that down completely, you see if he's where I want him to be. Let me bring him over just a little. So this one is probably not going to get a crossbar, but I am going to try and capture as much of this as possible. There we go. Now, watch what happens when I turn him over. So my sign should not shake that much. So he still needs to be tightened down a little bit. See how much shifting he's got going on? We cannot have a shifty scarecrow. It is against the rules. So let me take that back and tighten it up a little bit more. If we don't do that now and we get all the way done with this wreath, it's going to make a huge difference at the end. Oh, there we go. I can see why we had a little give in there. We don't want that little give. Oh yeah, much better. Much, much better. Okay. It's called a work it moment. That's right, Shirley. Exactly. D, so do I, girl. So do I. Just ask Gary. Okay, so now we have our scarecrow off to the side. That top one might still need a little bit more adjusting. And that's my crossbar one. So the last thing I want is for my customer to go home and then have something shift on them and then it be out of place the rest of their lives. We don't want that. Oh yes, much, much, much better. I'm gonna let that one work right there. Hello, Miss Paula. Hey, Johnny. Hello, hello. Okay. So, I'm now going to take that 1.5 inch ribbon that comes with this kit, and I'm going to cut a 24 inch piece of ribbon, 24 inches. And I'm going to want, let me see how many total I'm going to need. I need one for this twist tie, this one. So 1, 2, that needs curls in it. 3, 4, 5, and 5, maybe 6. Because some of the twist ties are covered up by our sign. So I'm only adding them to the ones that are exposed. And 6 is where we're going to start. So I need 6 of these in 24 inch lengths. So let's cut those real quick. So I have the 2 curls here. With that 24 inch, what we're going to do is we're going to make a little breast cancer awareness ribbon. See how that looks like a breast cancer awareness ribbon? And my tails here are about 4 inches long. So where this crisscrosses, I'm going to bring this behind it and pinch it right there in the center. And now I have this cute little bow tie. And when I pinch that in the center, and I'm going to add that to our twist tie, they look so cute. So I'm going to put it right there with our curls. And I'm putting it so the tails are facing away from the center. All right, let me see if I can show you. So that's what it looks like. I'm gonna repeat that because a lot of times going on here. We're just gonna do a fun little bow, a simple 1 ribbon bow, and give him a little focal point. So I'm gonna take my 2.5 inch plaid ribbon. And remember earlier I said I cut, these extra. So these are actually extra. This is a great time to use them. So, I worked in D, how awesome. Hey, Kim, hello, hello. So I'm just going to make a simple 6 inch bow. So I'm going over here to my 6 inch mark with my easy bow maker, of course. And I'm going to go to 6 inch loop. And we're just going to do a 1 ribbon bow. I'm not going to add a bunch of colors to it, but I am going to add several loops to it. So as we're building it out, let me try and get him out of the way for a second. Ugh. As we're building him out, I don't know why that is twisted, but it's going to drive me crazy. So this is where I can use, oh, for Pete's sakes, I can use some of these ribbon tails and bring them right into here. Look. So this isn't going to go in storage. It's going to go to good use right now. And then as I get further and further along, I'm going to bring in my loop a little bit shorter. A little bit shorter now. A little bit shorter now. Add another one of these guys. That one's going that way, so this one will go this way. There we go. All right, let me see how many loops we have, how many tails we have. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. We need another loop over here. And I think we're looped out because guess what? This is going to become part of our plume as well. So you can take your plume and you can actually integrate it right now into your bow. So I'm going to cut these off because I already know that I'm not going to need them all in this big long piece. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cuts. Love that. Love that. So we can take this before we tie off our bow and we can actually bring it in here and integrate this into our bow. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. So it looks like it's naturally part of that bow. I'm going to do another piece on this side. Now when I use my zip tie or my pipe cleaner or whatever to, before I tie this off, it's going to be secured in the bow itself. Love that. Love it, love it, love it. So I don't need any glue. I think I'm actually going to use my floral wire. Yay, made it to see the second part. I know. Look, you have to name this bow. No, I've never seen has ever done a bow like this. Well, Kathy, huh? Yes, of course. You know me. I buy nothing but nice ribbon. So, but oh, this is the 20 gauge. Hang on. I want the 22 gauge. There we go. I need to just put this down. Get it off my table so I'll quit using it. I want the 22 gauge. I have a bunch of 26 gauge that I don't use anymore. I found that it was breaking too easily. Okay, there we go. I don't know. What should we name it, Kathy? All right, so back behind here, I've got my wire coming through, and as I'm lifting off, I'm gonna make this part tighter, but I've got a good grip on it with my fingers over here. So I'm gonna take this, tighten these two wires together. Oh, maybe. And you notice that I'm turning the ribbon, not the wire. So when I spin the ribbon instead of the wire, it actually gives me a tighter hold. And before I get it completely tightened down, I want to make sure everything's facing the right direction. I haven't pulled anything out of place. Like this one seems longer than the other side, so I'm going to adjust that. Oh yeah, much better. Yay. Oh, and he has to get dovetailed. Remember too, when you add that bow, don't put it right on top of a twist tie, because it'll cause it to sink down into the wreath and it makes your bow do wonky things. So you want to go on top of one of your poofs or a ruffle, not try to avoid at all cost putting it right on top of a twist tie. And again, you don't want to pull it so tight that it's getting sucked down into the wreath. You just want it tight enough that it is going to float on top of your design. Okay, so there is, now remember we built in those two plumes into the bow itself, but we still have pieces of plume here. Now at this point, you could actually cut these in half if you didn't want to do super long ones like this, and I would just go right there in the center and cut it in half. Now I have some two short ones, but this I am going to need some glue for. So I've got my glue pot on over here, my hot glue, or my glue is now hot, and daggone it, not as hot as I thought it was gonna be, apparently. I'm gonna put one more like in the bow itself, so it's more on top. But we can also go underneath, go down in here. Let me turn my glue up just a smidge, because it is a little thicker than I like it. I like my glue about the consistency of honey. And right now this is more like, not Play-Doh, but I don't know what you want to call it. Not honey, that's for sure. All right, I like the half ones. See how I'm getting some accent in there? And I don't have to put it all around my bow. So I can bring these beautiful colors and I can add some here. Let's go ahead and cut a couple more in half. And this one in half. I've got ribbon falling on the floor. Okay. No minimum order. There we go. Look at him. Let's get him a little closer. I love it. I love it. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me and letting me fix my goof up. I don't think anybody's going to be able to tell. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a good night, y'all. All right, Miss Paula.